Hey there. Welcome to all my friends in the beautiful Inside and Out group. I'm glad to have you here. And this is the first time I'm going live in the group, but I just wanted to pop in quick and just share some interesting information that I was found when I was doing a little bit of research here. What I wanted to share with you today is the 9 signs of skin aging and what you can do about it. But first, I just wanted to share a little bit about how our skin works and what can contribute to, and then we'll get into what contributes to aging. So basically, our skin is made up of 3 layers. There's the outer layer, a middle layer, and then a lower layer. So the outer layer is called the epidermis, and this is the what we see. The epidermis gives the skin its texture and moisture, and also contributes to our skin color. So this is the top layer of the skin. And actually, there's a lot of dead skin cells on the surface of the skin because what happens is deeper down in the hypodermis, which is the 3rd layer, is where new skin cells are formed. And the hypodermis, which is the 3rd layer, helps insulate the body from heat and cold. It gives protective padding and serves as an energy storage area. So what happens is, as the new skin cells are made in this region, they start to migrate upward to the surface. So when they get to the top, to the epidermis layer, the outermost layer, then they need to be removed or sloughed off so that the newer skin cells can be shown underneath. So they're the most mature cells. And the epidermis also has a healthy skin barrier that helps to maintain your skin. And down below the epidermis is a basal layer. So this is this is where the new cells form. Sorry, I got that wrong. So it takes these cells to get to the top about 26 to 42 days approximately. And this is what's called cell regeneration, and it helps the skin to repair itself. So, for example, when you cut your skin and it takes time to heal, so that's the cells coming from the lower layer in the epidermis moving up to the top to heal the skin. It also contains melanin, which melanin helps to filter out sun's ultraviolet radiation, which actually is a contributor to premature aging because UV rays will damage the DNA, collagen, and elastin. So collagen is a protein that gives our skin its suppleness and its strength. Now, the next layer below the epidermis is called the dermis, and this helps to give skin strength and elasticity. So what this does is helps produce collagen, elastin, and other proteins and enzymes. So collagen and elastin, like I said, help to maintain water balance and support in the dermis level and act as a matrix for cell migration, metabolism, and growth. So that helps, this layer also helps the cells move to the top, to the epidermis. So elastin and collagen bundles are degraded by excessive exposure to UV radiation. So this is when your skin starts to show lines and wrinkles and starts to sag, which we don't want, right? Now below that, the 3rd level is the hypodermis, which I touched on earlier. It helps to insulate body from heat and cold, gives the protective padding. And now this fat layer can vary in thickness from a fraction of an inch on the eyelids up to several inches on the abdomen and the buttocks in some people. So those are the 3 layers, the epidermis, the dermis, and the hypodermis. Now, the 9 signs, the way our skin works is with aging especially. It ages in 2 different ways. There's a biological aging, which is intrinsically, so this is what you're born with. And the other aging factor is environmental aging. Oh, hey, Patty, thanks for hopping on. Nice to see you. Now, so these two processes of aging, the intrinsic and the extrinsic, we have to prevent and protect our skin. And according to the American Academy of Dermatology, production of collagen and elastin slows down a dramatic 65% between the ages of 20 and 80. So remember, collagen and elastin are the things that help give our skin its strength and its hold it to keep it from sagging. So this breaks down quite quickly after age 20. And the thickness of the skin decreases a staggering 6% every 10 years. Now, the sun causes 90 to 95% of wrinkles, lines, as well as brown, red, and white discolorations on our bodies. So we want to avoid the sun when we can, especially during the high peak hours of 11 to 3. And then we also want to be using sunscreen during those hours. And did you know that intrinsic aging, which is, you know, how your biological and your genetic makeup only accounts for 10% of the visible signs of aging. So just because your mother had beautiful skin doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to have beautiful skin, right? There's lots of other factors that come into play on how our skin ages. So family background and history play a major role, though, like in terms of skin color, of course. And the darker the skin, the less visible aging will take place. Now, isn't this true? We see like African American or Filipino women and some of the other people with darker skin. They just look ageless sometimes, right? Now, other factors that can contribute to aging your skin quickly are smoking, excessive use of alcohol, poor nutrition, sun exposure, as I touched on earlier. And some of the visible symptoms of aging include wrinkling, sagging, discoloration, unsightly pigmented spots, thick skin, spidery lines, and lack of color. So the good news is, if we can change some things up to reduce those signs of aging and slow it down. Now, wrinkles, those are the biggest indicators of age, especially on our face. And aging, you know, wrinkling is a natural thing that happens to our skin, right? Visible aging of the skin starts at about age 25. And as the natural regenerative process begins to slow, what happens is the skin starts to replace old cells more slowly, and there's a slower turnover of the surface skin and slower wound healing. And that's when wrinkles start to form. So these are some signs to look for. So in your 20s, you might notice the first wrinkles start appearing around the eyes and the lips. And in the 30s, your skin becomes less resilient, allowing gravity to begin to take its toll. So there's some sagging starting to happen. In your 40s, the elasticity keeps breaking down, and the skin will lose its ability to snap back to how it used to be. And repetitive movements such as frowning, squinting, or cigarette smoking form the first permanent wrinkles. So these are things that we do every day, sometimes without being aware of it. I know I have a couple little lines right here and some lines on my forehead. I do have some lines around my lips, but I'm not sure why, because I don't smoke, and but that could be part genetics. Now, in our 50s, which is the stage I'm at, gravity combined with a decrease in collagen and elastin synthesis causes the skin to sag. And exposed skin has mottled hyperpigmentation, resulting in dark spots. Now, something else that happens is the oil-producing glands are less active and skin becomes drier, more fragile, and sensitive to environmental factors. Now, I've noticed this even just going outside. Now that the we're going into fall and winter, and the air is changing. It's cold and drier. I notice when I go out, when the wind hits my face, it feels really sharp, and yeah, it's a little hard to be outside. Now, so I'm going to get into the 9 signs of skin aging right now. So the first one is loss of moisture. The second one is rough skin texture, signs of fatigue, loss of radiance, red blotchiness, or my light just went on and off there, loss of elasticity, loss of firmness, wrinkles and fine lines, and uneven skin tone. So those are the 9 signs of aging, and there are things that you can do to reverse those signs of aging. And so basically, what does this look like, these 9 signs of skin aging? Your skin texture will look rough. It'll look dull, lifeless, and lackluster. You'll look tired and fatigued. Your skin will lose moisture, and it may look and feel dry. You might be seeing dark spots on your skin. It's sagging and loses firmness. It loses elasticity, becomes red and more easily. Like I said, being especially outside in the cold. And then you're seeing lines and wrinkles. So the opposite of this is youthful skin. Your skin looks smooth. It looks radiant, young, refreshed. It looks healthy and alive. Skin is moisturized and protected. Your skin tone looks even. Your skin looks and feels firm. It's strong and resilient, and it looks calm and harmonious. And there's no signs of lines or wrinkles. So if you're seeing some of these signs of aging, there are a few things you can do. Number 1, drink more water, because our skin is losing moisture through as it breathes, because our skin is actually a living organ, and it breathes, it takes in oxygen and releases toxins. So it also can release moisture, so you want to make sure you're well hydrated. You also want to, like I said, use sunscreen whenever you're outside and it's very bright and sunny. And even on cloudy days, if you're going to be outside for a long time, you want to make sure you're using sunscreen. You also want to, if you do drink a lot of alcohol or you're smoking, you may want to consider changing those habits to help improve your skin. You want to get enough sleep during the night, because also that's when our body repairs itself, and where the most skin renewal happens is at night while we're sleeping. So those are some tips that you can do to take better care of your skin. And those are things that you can start doing right away. Another thing you want to do is make sure you're using good quality skincare. Now, the skincare that's on the market, there's some good stuff, but most of it is not really good stuff, because there are a lot of toxic ingredients. There's a lot of, preservatives, harmful preservatives in those items on storage shelves. And the reason for that is because they're made in such mass quantities, right? Like, take for example Estee Lauder. They have stores all across North America, so they're making products for all those stores. So they make it in huge mass quantities, and by government standards, they have to have enough preservatives in them that will keep them shelf stable for a long period of time. And once they're made, they get sent to a warehouse. So they're stored in the warehouse until they get shipped out. And then when they're shipped out, that is when they get date stamped. So there might be like a 2-year shelf life on it, but it's, who knows how long it's been sitting in the factory, right? Or it's sitting in the warehouse. It gets date stamped on the way out. So it could have been sitting there for a year already. And then when it gets to the store, and then who knows how long it's going to take for it to sell. You don't know how long it's been sitting on the store shelf. So it has to have enough preservatives that will keep it stable until it's opened. And then once it's open, it might have a year shelf, life, or it might have 2 years. And I would be a little concerned if something has a 2-year shelf life once it's opened, right? Because air is getting into it. It's like, okay, what kind of preservatives are in there, keeping it stable for another 2 years after it's open. So I use a skincare system. It's 6 steps. It's really easy. You cleanse, you tone, you use a serum, eye cream, and a day cream or a night cream. So what I love about this system, it's really simple. When I go into the stores, when I was going into the stores looking for good anti-aging products, there was such an array of choices. And I don't know about you, but I get overwhelmed. Do you get overwhelmed when you go into the store and there's so many different lines and you're not sure what to use? And even within an anti-aging line, there can be 10 different products, and how do you use them and when do you use them, and do you really need all of them? What I love about this line is it's just basic. You have everything you need for a really good skincare routine, morning and night. It takes less than 2 minutes. Everything is, the way these products are made is they're not sold in stores. They are, you can just order them online, and so they're made according to demand. So if there's a high demand, the company will make more. If there's not a high demand, the company makes less. So you know that what you're getting is fresh. And they don't have all the toxic preservatives in them. And I'll have to do a live on that another day on what the toxic preservatives are, just so you know when you're looking at your skincare. So basically, they do not have these toxic preservatives in there. They have a 1-year shelf life from when they're made, and then a 1 year, 2 years unopened, and then 1 year typically once it's opened. Some have a 6-month shelf life, so it just depends on the product and how much you're using it. And believe me, once I started using these products, I didn't want to turn back because my skin was just a dramatic turnaround. It had the moisture, it had the texture, it felt soft. When I touch my skin, it feels soft. It didn't feel dry and rough. Oh, excuse me, my daughter's calling me here. I'll just turn it off for now. So anyway, if you are interested in finding out what I'm using, leave a comment and I will get in touch with you on a private message and share with you what I'm using. If you would like a travel size to check out these 3-day trial kit, trial size, let me know. I can send that out to you for free. It would just cost you a little bit for shipping and handling. So if that sounds good to you, and if you really like the products, there's an awesome offer that I can share with you as well. So yeah, we went through the signs of aging. We talked about what the skin is like. If you are jumping in a little later, you can go back and watch the replay and leave me a comment. Let me know what are your challenges with your skin, and if there's any way I can help you with that. So I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you again on the next video. Bye.